Hi guys, welcome to the annual Career Guidance 2020. My name is Millicent Machaka for those who don't know me, and I am so excited to be hosting this program for the first time this year. So today we're going to be talking about information technology, and as you all know that IT is quite a broad field, so we're going to be focusing on software development. And joining me today, I introduce you to Sydney Mulobela. He is a software engineer and he's going to share with us his experience and information regarding software development. So Sydney, welcome.
Thank you for hosting me, Millicent. Hi, everyone. As she highlighted, my name is Sydney Molobela. Well, after my high school days, I joined TUT for my national diploma in information technology. I majored in software development. And in 2015, late 2015, I got an internship with a company called Zensa Technologies. So that's when my career actually started. I started off doing Java programming and C++ and a little bit of other database programming as well. But as my career progressed, I started majoring in Java up to this date. Currently, I'm working as a software engineer with over 5 years experience. And yeah.
Wow,
Thank you.
awesome. That is so awesome. So, before we can go anywhere, I would like us to, define what software development is. And may you please define it like in a very, very simple terms. If possible, you can give examples, relatable examples that people get to, yeah.
Okay. Um, Briefly, software development entails the translation of real life problems into a technical solution, which is carried out by a computer application. So, for an instance, we all know ATMs, auto teller machine. Everybody withdraws money from an ATM.
Yeah.
So when you go to the ATM to withdraw some money,
Yeah.
you insert your card and key in your PIN. Say for instance, you say your PIN is 2468. You just key the PIN incorrectly. The machine will automatically throw an error message telling you that this PIN is invalid, and you would see that it would count if you keep on putting in the wrong PIN repeatedly. It would, based on the maximum number of attempts, it would block your card. So those are actually rules running behind the scenes, programmed by somebody else before.
Yeah.
So yeah, they actually running algorithms that are carried out by a software program. That's software development, carrying out such a human task that's used globally. So
Okay.
that's basically software development.
So you implement softwares that human beings interact with. So when I go to the ATM and withdraw the money or block my card or do any type of a transaction, that is something that is done by software engineers and all the rules that he explained, right? So I just want to know who are the other stakeholders that you work with, because even in software development, I believe there are other many roles that get to be played in order for us to be able to interact with an ATM.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this circle, there's software engineers, and also they work very closely with business analysts and also with software testers. So basically, what a software tester does, the name is actually self-explanatory. So they actually test the software before we launch it to production for human consumption. And yeah, as you are a business analyst in profession, you can actually just tell us what it
Okay,
entails.
so I'll do that, but I need to let you know that software engineers are always fighting with software testers. Because you could develop a software and the tester will come and tell you this thing is crap, it's not working. So that's what they basically responsible for. They go and act against the software just to test if this thing is quality and it's worth being taken to production. Production means for people to start interacting with, right? So going to business analysis. By the way, I'm a business analyst by profession. I work closely with software engineers. So software engineers are very technical people, like he just explained. So a business analyst, is that someone who come and bridge the gap between business and technology. So what we do is before Sydney can even begin to write any ATM rules, as a business analyst, I would go and sit with business owners like the founder of the ATM or the bank. I would work with them, sit down with them, understand where they're going and the kind of requirements that they need. And I gather those requirements and I translate those requirements into technical requirements, which means translate them from a business point of view to a technical point of view. So if a business person can go and sit with Sydney and explain what they want, you might not even understand what they want.
Yeah.
But a business analyst is that someone who represent business when they are with developers or software engineers, and then they go back and represent business. I mean, they represent software developers or software engineers when they are with business. So we kind of bridge the gap. So yeah. You're welcome to ask questions. We're gonna answer questions probably in the replies because we actually live now, but we're gonna make sure we answer like as many questions as you can ask. But it's quite an exciting role, right? So moving on to the rest of our questions. Someone who went to Okay, maybe let me start by saying what are the subjects that learners or students need to focus on in order for them to become software engineers in varsity or maybe in high school? I don't know.
Okay, I think it would be best to rather start off at high school level because that's the basis. That's
Yeah.
where it's actually coming from.
Yeah.
So, as a high school learner, you would require math, but you still have an option. Math as it's actually a core. It's
Yeah.
a core subject.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing they look into.
Okay.
But other institutions also do accept mathematical literacy. That was my case. So
Yeah.
I didn't do math in school. I actually did math literacy. But the only exception is that the grade, they actually expect quite a little bit higher
Yeah.
grade than
Yeah.
as opposed to the purest math. So you can also survive with that. And yeah, that's the basic that you need. And everything else, you just need your English.
Yeah.
Everybody is doing English, of course.
Yeah.
And nothing more specific.
And
honestly.
logic. I remember the time I was at varsity, they had to make us do maths. I did programming, and they were like, we were a group of people who they thought we didn't have logic and they thought we should do maths. So I think that's the role of knowing maths. It helps.
So that's why, because math is about logic, solving problems,
Yeah.
thinking, being able to
Yeah.
think very critically.
Yeah.
So that's why they require it, and that's why we have most of the universities have
Yeah.
modules called logic building, all these algorithms and data structures. All those things they train you to be able to oversee problems and
Yeah.
be able to actually think out of the box and come
Yeah.
up with very tangible solutions and convert them into actual usable software products.
Okay, awesome. Going to corporate, what are some of the soft skills that are required for a software engineer? Like right now, maybe I would want to maybe change careers and become a software engineer. What are some of the soft skills that I need to work on in order for me to, survive in that area?
First of all, to be quite honest, you need to be very really resilient, and you need to be able to take in stress because you'd always work under very stressful circumstances. You need to actually endure, and the most important thing is to make sure that you always keep up with technology, because you need to always adapt to changing environments, because companies don't use just the same tech over and over again. As technology changes and people do upgrade, so then you need to go back and relook your technical toolbox and make sure that you actually upgrade as well.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that you need on the technical level.
Yeah.
But in terms of really soft skills, you just need to be strong enough to handle stress and pressure, because some your superiors might just, because business is putting pressure on them, they might just treat you very unfairly or maybe shout at you, those kind of things.
You must be able to take
Yeah, you should take them in as motivation, but to a certain level.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't
Of
always be the
course,
case.
it
Yeah.
shouldn't be the abuse.
Yeah,
Right. So there's this. Before I can go into the kind of skills that you need for a BA, there's an assumption that software engineers they don't read emails, they don't like to read documents, and they don't like to talk. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm not quite a big fan of reading emails,
Yeah.
but as to be quite honest, as you grow in the career, you're forced to read emails,
Yeah.
especially at my level now,
And
because
documents.
a lot of people communicate with me through emails. I'm working with multiple external systems, so that is called integration. So the only communication medium is basically primarily
Yes.
email. So I need to
Emails,
make sure I
yeah.
read my emails, but I'm not really a fan.
Okay.
So what was the next question?
So
Sorry,
in
I
my
lost you there.
no, it's fine. I'll ask you again. So in my experience, I had to kind of spoon feed developers because I think it's true that developers don't like to read documents, because we as business analysts we can try to write like large documents, and but I think with experience I got to learn that these people are logical and technical people. So if you want to be a successful business analyst, make sure that you can be able to communicate effectively with both developers or technical teams as well as business. So in my experience, I made sure that I began to start communicating to developers through pictures. So they didn't want to read anything. But if I draw a diagram, they will be able to understand, okay, the person insert the card, put the pin, and then if it's a wrong pin, please return this message. If it's a good, the pin is correct, please ask them to enter the amount. You explain it in a form of a diagram, more like a process, even if you draw some cycles. So that's another way of communicating with developers effectively. So speaking of that, I'll just touch base on the kind of skills that you need as a business analyst. From a business point of view, you need to be very good with, interpersonal skills, because you're gonna work with different people. You basically facilitating the whole project and making sure that everyone is doing their part to make sure that we build the ATM, right? And the second skill is communication skills. Like I said, if you're dealing with a developer, deal with them in such a way that they'll understand. If you're going to write paragraphs, they're not gonna have time to read that paragraph because they're already under stress. Try to communicate with them in diagrams, in pictures, so that they can easily see. If you're dealing with business people, yes, you can write those paragraphs. They are business people, they can read. But if you're gonna speak to them in a technical manner or in pictures, they don't understand because they're not technical people. So have very good communication skills from that perspective. And then, be able to establish relationships, because I can almost say that when we building an ATM, this is just an example that we're using in this talk. You are like more like you are to be blamed if the ATM won't be built, because you are the first person who went to business and understood what business want, the kind of ATM they want, and you are the same person who went to tell developers that, guys, we need to build an ATM. If it's not an ATM that business want, then you are in trouble. So be able to establish relationships, get information from different people before you can even design a solution or before you can present anything to the developers. So I guess I covered the BA part. The next question that I have for you is, for someone who went to college, who maybe didn't qualify, because I think you mentioned that you need to have like certain marks in order for you to qualify to go to varsity and study information technology. So for someone who went to college and they didn't really do well in high school, but they passionate about programming, or they want to enroll in IT, what are the opportunities that will be there for them? like in corporate, can they be a software engineer? Where can they start with their career, with the N4 or with just the college qualification?
Okay. To be quite honest, anyone can become a software engineer, whether you went to school or not,
Yeah.
up to this date.
Interesting.
Yes. So I'll tell you why. So 90% of the company, only 10% of companies require those BScs, those MScs,
Yeah.
those whatever, those all those information technology,
Yeah.
computer science
Yeah.
degrees. But 90% of companies, they just need your ability to do the work, ability to deliver,
Yeah.
and your actual positive attitude.
Yeah.
So for someone who's coming from college, according to me, that person with the same person who went to university, they have the same chances of
Yeah.
actually getting
The
entrance.
Yeah. And
to
also
an
being
internship or a job.
successful
Yeah.
software engineers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For as long as you're working, as long as you're getting good grades, as long as you can prove that you are actually capable, and as long as you can score yourself an interview and
Yeah.
make sure that you impress in the interview.
So
then you
attitude plays an important role. I've seen people succeeding in corporate with no qualifications, we're not encouraging people to not go to school or get qualified, but we're just saying that if life put you at a position where you couldn't get that fancy qualification, it's not over. You, with the right attitude, you can still, yeah, you can go on.
Yes, sorry to interrupt. And there's also this platform called udemy.com.
Yeah,
So that's an online learning platform.
yeah,
You can just learn just about anything there.
yeah.
You can learn music, you can learn software development, you can learn graphic designing,
Yeah.
you can learn marketing, you can learn math, you can learn English, you can learn Portuguese. There's worldwide experts creating all those courses at a cost, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm a student there myself as a software engineer. I'm enrolled in a plethora of programming languages there just to upskill, keep on upskilling. And I also have some side learnings that I'm just doing for my own personal interests,
yeah.
like graphic designing,
Yeah.
those kind of things. But I'm
Yeah.
not a graphic designer, but I
Okay.
just enrolled on some.
Just to know, it's
Yeah.
very good. That's
Yeah.
that's also that forms part of a good attitude to learn other things. You never know. Sometimes you work in a team or in a company where they need a graphic designer, or you need to design the front end screens of the software, and maybe you save them money and time, which puts you at a good side of being promoted or chance of being promoted. So, okay, cool. Being a full stack developer, I know as a software engineer, you use different languages. So I just want you to share with us what are the languages that are there. That's the first question. And the second question, when do you apply which language? Like on what type of projects or softwares?
Okay, a choice of language really just depends on the type of product that you want to achieve. In most cases, it's very rare that you find someone relying on using, for instance, these artificial intelligent things.
Yeah.
Like not everyone is using those things. It's very few companies that are using those. So the reason why I highlighted that out is to point the fact that there's a language called Python, for instance.
Yeah.
So Python, a lot of companies use
Snake.
use Python to
Yeah.
do artificial intelligence and stuff.
Okay.
But you cannot do artificial intelligence with a language like PHP, for instance.
nice.
So PHP, if you want to do web development
Yeah.
and simple web application, web-based applications,
Yeah.
you can use your PHP. And we also have the popular Java programming language. So with Java, you can do quite a lot of things, but it also has some limitations as well.
Okay.
When it comes to things like machine learning and all those things, Java
Okay.
wouldn't be the ideal
What
language
is
to
machine
use.
learning?
Machine learning is all these smart systems that people are creating now, like all these drones. You see all these drones.
Oh,
that,
okay.
yeah, you
All
just-
right. Yeah.
Yeah. You just order a medicine, for instance. There was this product that was created. I think it was in China or Korea. And it was created in a hackathon. So the solution was to, let's say, I'm sick now, I want to order some medication. I
Yeah.
can just go on my app, order medication from a doctor, and then the drone collects the medication and then comes and delivers the medication right at the
At your
door.
door. Wow,
And then
nice.
that's basically
All right.
artificial intelligence
Okay.
and machine learning.
Yeah.
You can't do that with
Yeah.
Java programming.
All right.
So Java is basically for your mobile apps, your web application, your enterprise applications. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Would you recommend for someone to learn all the languages? Or is it okay for me to say, you know what, I want to be a software engineer, but I just want to code in Java only? What are the pros and cons of focusing on one language?
Yeah, obviously, if you want to kick off your career, you need to identify a language that you.
Okay.
And if you just want to start, you don't know how. Let's say you don't know how to start,
Yeah.
but you want to be a programmer. I
Yeah.
would recommend that you just learn some Java because
Okay.
if you check in the market, it's high ranking in the
Yeah.
market. There's a lot of job opportunities.
Yeah.
It's very easy to land yourself a job if you know
Okay.
some Java.
And then you can learn the rest. as
Yeah,
you-
if you are keen on doing some artificial intelligence stuff, all this machine learning, you
Yeah.
can then just learn Python.
But the
you
basic
can-
one is Java.
Yeah,
Learn
yeah,
Java, and then you can learn the rest as you go along.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can learn all those things. C++ if you're interested in some games programming, all those robotics, and then you can
Okay.
go into that.
Okay, interesting. So we're gonna share links that people can access to learn more about all these different languages on the description box on my YouTube channel. And then when you have time, just visit them, familiarize yourself with those, languages, and see, and maybe have some videos and see how to code and stuff like that. So let's talk about money, salary range. Right?
Yeah.
So can we share with them like how much do software engineers earn? I mean, like based on experience and of course the levels, different levels.
Absolutely. So it varies from company to company, but I'll just highlight the overall band, which is the levels, the rankings. So let's say for an internship, most companies pay, obviously okay, let's say they pay maximum 150,000 per annum.
Okay.
And then junior level, they pay from 150 to 400,000 per annum.
Okay.
And mid-level, which is around 3 years plus, it depends on the companies.
Experience.
It might be 6 years experience, 4 years, but at least 3 years.
Okay.
That's intermediate level.
Yeah.
So they pay just over 400,000 rand and just less than 700,000 rand. So
Yeah.
between 400 and 700,000 rand per annum.
Okay.
And senior role, that pays 700 plus. Most companies, some companies do pay less than that, maybe 600, 650.
like small
But if you check the band, even if you can just go online and check, you'll see most of them start from 700 and it can go as high as 1 million, 1.5, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's also architect level, there's team lead level after that.
Yeah.
So all those, then you can earn as much as you can, depending on the company revenues
Yeah.
and your services and
Yeah.
the way the company actually wants to invest in you. So yeah.
So
it
I
varies.
think software development has a lot of money. It's one of the fields within IT that the streams within IT field that have a lot of money. They pay a lot of money. If you're looking into being a software engineer or being a business analyst or being a software tester, you're gonna get quite a lot of money. But that also matches the stress that comes with the work. And speaking of that, in corporate, what are some of the challenges that are faced? You don't need to mention your own, but if you want, you can. But what are some of the challenges that are faced, and how can one mitigate, those challenges or learn to live with those challenges?
Well, the most common challenge that most people, whether junior level, senior level, or whatever, encounter in their daily business activities is pressure from management based on, as a result on rather, very tight deadlines. And they might just come and tell you that we need this product in 3 weeks. And when you check the amount of work, this is actually 2 months worth of work. And they start putting much pressure on you because of a pressing business requirement. And they need to start making money. They have a target and they are losing clients. If you don't deliver the product, they'll lose clients and they have to put pressure on you. Then you have to come up with a plan. You have to make a plan. You have to make them go live on the set date. So that's one of the most pressing issues and stressful encounters in your career. And the other one is just in-house politics. That's one thing
Which are everywhere.
yeah, that's everywhere. Yeah, politics is everywhere, and my advice is, as an employee or a software engineer or a tester or a business analyst, just try to avoid getting involved into company politics and stuff. All these corridor talks and all that stuff. Just focus on what you're doing and always go and get it. Whatever you want, always go for it and get it. And whatever is blocking you, make sure that you iron all these issues.
Yeah.
If you're working and you see that, okay, this thing is gonna hinder my progress, just go to that person and ask them to give you that thing so that you can continue, you can finish your work rather sooner than later. Then that's a way. I think if you can do that, then it's easy to succeed. It's not that stressful if you just have a recipe that you follow every day.
Okay. So to answer the same question from a business analyst perspective, the biggest challenge is dealing with business people who don't know what they want. You know, a business person who keeps changing. Today they say, we want an ATM. Tomorrow they say, actually, on the ATM, no one must be able to withdraw. Or tomorrow they say, they changing like all the time. And as a result, it affects the project. Your developers don't trust you anymore as well, because when I go to Sydney and say the first time, okay, there's a new project, business wants us to develop an ATM, and they want people to be able to withdraw the money and also do self-service on that particular ATM. And then tomorrow they come and say, we want to remove the self-service part. And now they keep changing. You know, that's the biggest challenge that business analysts face. And also the project manager will come to you and tell you that we've been paying people for so long and this project has to go into production in 2 months. There is no more budget and we are running out of time. Development hasn't even started because your requirements don't make sense. You keep changing, you know. So in my experience, how I dealt with that is I would help the customer figure out what they want, because I just figure that in most cases it's because they don't really know what they want, right? So what you can do is try to read the picture that they have in their hearts. For me, I would conduct interviews with them to say, what is your goal? What is it that you're trying to achieve? You know, be able to ask questions. And as they answer questions, then you're going to help them and say, okay, this is what you want. And then once you get that and once they sign off, then a project will be a success. So I just wanted to share in case you want to, you know, start your career as a business analyst. I'm going to have to end our video, and I just want to thank you so much, Sydney, for coming through. It means a lot to me and also to the vision of my brand, Millicent Machaka, which is to inspire lives, you know, and bring that hope into other people's lives. So thank you so much. In closing, would you give some word of motivation from a career perspective, particularly in software development?
Okay, first of all, thank you. Thank you for hosting me once again. And yeah, just the words of advice.
Yeah.
Just follow this basic recipe. Keep on reading. Keep on
Yeah.
reading all these technical blogs. Keep on researching about the current technological or technical trends.
Yeah.
Keep on reading about those, and don't forget to always make sure that you are up to date and
Yeah.
you actually put in the work.
Yeah.
You work so hard, and ask questions all the time. Every time when you have a task at hand, make sure that you actually understand that task before you actually dive into
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you completely understand what needs to be done. You can translate it into your own mind or your own thinking or your own language. Translate it. Make sure that actually you can actually foresee the complete
final
project.
product, yeah.
Before you actually do it, because that's one of the things that make a lot of people end up dropping out, because
Yeah.
they think this thing is difficult. You find that
Yeah.
they're not that bad. It's just
Yeah.
that they end up doing the wrong things,
Yeah.
and people obviously come back and then ambush at them because
Exactly.
they are incompetent or they're not delivering and all those things. That's why a lot of people end up switching careers, moving from software engineering into something different,
Yeah.
or maybe marketing, or maybe they want to start singing, they want to
Yeah.
start being a DJ,
Yeah.
those kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, this was so amazing and I am so happy. I hope you inspired. Keep those questions coming and Sydney and I will be asking questions. It's going to be answering all the questions that are coming from, software engineer perspective. And if you have any business analyst questions as well, I'll be available to answer and reply, every question. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy and we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.